In the year 2008, the city of Bonn got a new saint patroness. In the year 1966, she was beatified by Pope Paul VI. Around 987, she was the abbess of a convent, and around the year 970, she was born. But that's the short story. This is the parish church of St. Peter, one of the dozen of churches in the city of Bonn. The church as it stands is the work of close to 1,000 years of history. But despite its unassuming look, it was once a prime pilgrimage spot for the local people. But its fame starts somewhere else, with the birth of a little princess named Adelheid. Being the fourth and last daughter of Count Megengos of Geldern, Adelheid had 3 elder sisters and an older brother, making her the last of her siblings. She and her younger sister Bertrada were sent to St. Ursula's monastery in Cologne, where she studied the common subjects back then: philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, music, and theology. Her faith ultimately changed after the death of her brother, when a part of his inheritance went to her. Being still a young woman, her parents decided to use her inheritance to build a canoness in a place called Villich, the old name for the modern Villich. Built around 977 and 78, the canoness buildings circles an even older chapel from the 8th or 9th century, the seat for the later St. Peter's Church. Soon after, the canoness gained further popularity, and in 987, King Otto III of the Holy Roman Empire dubbed it as the Fourth Reichsstift, religious territories under direct rule by the emperor, where Adelheid became its first abbess. Adelheid was said to be very caring to the common folk. Not only did she build and taught in the canoness's school, but she also built a hospital and a poorhouse, providing care to the poor, sick, and the needy. Later, she even did miracle works. During the droughts between 1000 and 1010, she prayed and stabbed a stake to the ground, finding a water source. The place where this miracle happened were later called Bütchen, after the local word for well. Even her death in 1015 doesn't stop her miraculous deeds. In a biography written in 1057, a blind man apparently regained his sight after stumbling on her grave here in St. Peter. Soon after, she was known as a saint for eye sickness, and pilgrims rushed to the Villich monastery to pray to her. But how does she become a patron saint of Bonn? Villich today is a district of Bonn, but back then both are separate entities with their separate patrons. The short answer is luck and geopolitics. Around 800 years after Adelheid's death, Villich became a municipality encompassing regions northeast of Bonn. The local mayor lived near the monastery, which, by now, had been secularized. St. Peter's Church became a parish church, and the former monastic buildings were leased to the common people. In 1896, the seat of the mayor were moved from Villich to a region closer to Bonn called Boyle. In 1922, the Bürgermeisterei Villich, or the Villich mayoral post, were changed into the Bürgermeisterei Boyle, the Boyle mayoral post. In 1969, the autonomous city of Boyle were finally incorporated to the city of Bonn, creating the new Bonn-Boyle city district. But Adelheid's story does not stop there. 3 years before this merge, Pope Paul VI beatified her. But her status as patron saint remains limited to Boyle, whilst Bonn's patron saints, Cassius and Florentinus, became the formal patrons of all of Bonn. On June 18, 2008, a formal request by the mayor of the district of Boyle to appoint Adelheid as patron saint were made to Bonn's main government. On November of the same year, the Roman congregation decided to adopt her as Bonn's new saint patroness. The Church of St. Peter is the last remaining sacral architecture of the once famous monastery of Villich, where Adelheid both began her career and was laid to rest. The church might seem unremarkable along the hundreds of churches in the region, but it remains as a witness to the story of how Adelheid became the patron saint of Bonn.